Haven't I got another one?
Good evening to everyone. You are joined here today for the third week of the 4-week series on the Four Noble Truths. So without any much delay, we hope to now start the session with Dr. Kamal Witharana, who has kindly volunteered to conduct this series on the Four Noble Truths. Just a reminder before we sort of continue, we have a series of Dhamma talks and events happening for the upcoming Vesak week. On the 26th of May, we will be having a 13-hour online full-day retreat conducted by myself, Bhante Panyavansa. And all the details of these sessions and events, and of course, also the retreat is available on the Dhamma Center website. So thank you very much. And Dr. Kamal, over to you. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Kamal.
Yeah, Thiruvan Saranai Bhante, thank you so much. So let me try to, Okay, with great respect to Bhante Panyavansa, so I welcome you all for the third day of Four Noble Truth series. So again, today also we could ask questions during the session. So this is the Four Noble Truths, the deathless path. So reference-wise, you could see where I got reference from if you want to make a note. But I want to bring your attention to something. What were the issues we had from last time? And during the session, after the session, and some people who wrote to me. So one is we had the confusion about gratification, Assadanca and Asvada, Adinava, Nissarana. So I'm going to talk on that, not because it was a confusion last week, but it is really relevant to our today's session. And then 5 aggregates, I was asked whether 5 aggregates cause really suffering. And can we have Sinhala explanation? That, of course, I'll ask later on Bhante Panyavansa. Maybe we could do that another day, because otherwise it's due to time factor. And then can we have more practice of Four Noble Truths? Right. So I want to bring to your attention something, because we were talking about some reference where we get the reference. I mean, which one is, then again, I had a question, which book I recommend. Especially to learn Chaturarya Satya, Four Noble Truths. So we have to be very careful whenever we read any book, especially in other languages other than Pali. And sometimes Sinhala could be okay, Thai could be okay. So this is what Valpola Rahula Thero is writing on his book, What the Buddha Told. So what he says, Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. So on Pali Test Society, so this being really, I mean, it's not the right translation they are giving. So therefore, the Valpola Rahula Thero says, even though you are reading whatever the book, including Pali Test Society, kindred sayings IV, page 282, is completely wrong and probably due to an oversight, but this is a very serious mistake. This perhaps is one of the reasons for so much unnecessary talk on the Buddha's silence. The most important word in its context, anatta, without a self, has been translated as impermanent. So on this book, yeah, Valpola Theros, if you see page, can't remember the page, but you can see on here, yeah, page 63. So therefore, whenever you refer any book, very, very careful, because never go on the word itself, but try to get the right meaning for that word. So it means, how could I do that? We could discuss with any Bhante, or then we could see the Pali translation from Buddha Jayanti Tripitaka. So therefore, so I found another two mistakes on two books of Pali Text Society. So I'll be writing to them. So therefore, it's very, very careful whenever you refer any books. But as I always say, so this is not something we are doing today just to as an academic subject. So we want to learn and we want to practice this one in our day-to-day life, okay? So then I move on to our original session. So what we said, so Buddha said, I teach suffering, its origin, cessation and path. That is all I teach. So therefore, as we said the very first session, so like all footed animals' legs fit onto elephant's leg. So whatever we discuss in Buddhism, they all comes under Four Noble Truths. Okay, so therefore this is more than enough to realize the ultimate truth. Now, so Buddha said, why we are on samsara, not understanding the Four Noble Truths and not putting them into practice. So therefore, the truth of universal suffering, which we discussed last week and before last week, and then we're going to discuss today the truth of the origin of suffering, samudaya satya, and truth of cessation of suffering, nirodha satya. Okay. So anytime, please stop me. If you have any questions, you could ask then and there. Otherwise, whenever after the session, we could do that. But I am just recapping what we did last time, because I could see maybe there are devotees who were not there last week and before last week. So then what Buddha said, so Buddha said, illness is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, grief, pain, despair, suffering. To be connected with what one likes, dislikes is suffering. And 1 second, please. To be separated from what one likes is suffering. Not getting what one desires is suffering. Birth is suffering. Aging is suffering. Death is suffering. So plus, in short, Buddha said, 5 aggregates are suffering. Okay, so this is what dukkha satya, or what is suffering. The first noble truth we discussed over last 2 weeks. Now, as we said, because I had a question to explain why we saying 5 aggregates is suffering.
Aggregates of 10.
Okay, now can anyone tell us, please, why we think 5 aggregates is suffering? Because I don't know where you did not understand that, because we said in addition to all these things, 5 aggregates cause suffering, but the cause of these all sufferings also the 5 aggregates. So why 5 aggregates is suffering? Anybody, please let us do like a discussion, because you already know these things.
So it's the 5 aggregates of clinging that becomes a suffering. So the
Okay, 5 aggregates of clinging.
Yes.
Very good. Could you please explain why it causes suffering? Remember, we talked about Jane's daughter's death. Yeah. So the question was asked by some people. So why we call 5 aggregates of clinging is suffering? So why?
Because clinging is craving, and the Buddha has said that craving is a cause of suffering. And in that also he says there is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So if you always think there's I, me, and mine, and there's a mamatva, and if you're always thinking like that and not non-self, then there's craving on one side, and you have sakkaya ditthi that you think that there's a person there. So when Jane was looking at the daughter and there was impermanence and which was suffering there, was craving for the daughter, and also didn't realize that it was her daughter. So therefore, she identified with the personality view. So then there is suffering.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, good explanation. Yeah, that's what really we want to run the session this way. Now, okay, now one is what are the 3 fundamental characteristics of nature? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. So it means impermanent, non-self, and causes suffering. So it means whenever Jane's daughter passed away, so Jane did not have understanding probably. So everything is impermanent. Like you said, we have 2 things we call asmimana. So it means like I am conceit, yeah. And then we have in the thing called sakkaya ditthi. So otherwise, it means I am the body, I am the feeling, feeling is in me, body is in me. So there are 2 things. One is sakkaya ditthi, the other one is asmimana. So then the Jane was thinking always, daughter is mine. So I am not happy because daughter passed away. Because we talk about suffering of suffering. So it means the physical body. So biologically death occurred. Then after that, we said suffering on change, because Jane could not accept the change because daughter being a lovely person to her, but she is no more. But the most important thing is 5 aggregates are the one causing this. So what are the 5 aggregates like lady mentioned now? So one is the form, and then feeling or sensation, then after that perception, then after that mental formation, then after that consciousness. To be honest, consciousness comes first, though it says like that, because we got eye consciousness, ear consciousness, like that. So again, when you read English books, it says consciousness and vijnana, very difficult to translate, because we normally call conscious is sihiya, or consciousness. Someone is conscious, someone is unconscious. So then again, it is something to do with the meaning of the word, but we don't have to go along with these words, but we need to identify the exact meaning. So because of Jane's clinging to the 5 aggregates, because Jane thinks this Vedana, unpleasant Vedana, is mine. So therefore I am suffering now, because this Vedana, unpleasant Vedana towards her daughter's death is one part of the 5 aggregates, because she was clinging into that. That's why it causes suffering. So then as a result of that unpleasant Vedana, then she is going to have perception. So then she thinking, because I conscious or mind consciousness cannot recognize something. It just giving awareness. For example, if I see a dead body, so I see just say, let's say very simple example. I see blue color pen. So when I see a blue color pen, so I recognize through my eye consciousness, this is a color. But eye consciousness cannot tell you this is blue color. So that is our perception. Perception is the one can recognize. So once Jane had that unpleasant feeling towards her daughter's death, then she started to perceive sanya. So all the sanya coming to her. So this, as a result of this sanya and all together, then she is going to form mental formation. So she may be crying, so she may be telling many things. It means the speech. It means that now we have three types of mental formation: sankara, kaya sankara, vachi sankara, and mano sankara. So now during that funeral, all these things taking place with Jane. So that's why we said 5 aggregates are causing suffering. I believe it's understood. If not, and the lady also explained very well. If it's still not understood, please ask on our question time. Okay, then we said we need to understand dukkha, nirodha, samudaya, and marga, satya, 4 noble truths. We have to use satya jnana, krutya jnana, and krutya jnana. So it means the knowledge that there is suffering. So if we don't have the right knowledge, what is suffering? If we don't know 5 aggregates causing suffering, even we don't have the knowledge. So once you gain that knowledge, the knowledge that suffering must be fully understood. And then once we understood, we fully aware, and the knowledge that suffering is fully understood. So then today we're going to move on to Samudaya Satya. So what is the Samudaya Satya? So okay, who causing suffering to us? Can anyone tell us who caused suffering? Because second noble truth is the cause of suffering. We have to have the knowledge that craving is the cause of suffering. So what is, okay, who caused suffering? Are we causing suffering to us, dukkha, or someone else is causing suffering to us, or dukkha? Dukkha caused by us or dukkha caused by someone else? Any idea? Now we know what is dukkha. Now today we want to know why this, who caused this dukkha?
Caused by the ego, I. We think there's a person there and we are craving. So then we call
So you think we are creating the dukkha?
I think the ego, the concept that there's a person there, I, and we crave.
Okay, so ego is causing. Right, okay. If I could remember, if you heard Achelaka Kassapa Sutta. So Achelaka Kassapa, Achelaka means naked. So naked Kassapa once met Buddha and asked Buddha, I have a question to you. Well, first Buddha refused 3 times because he was just going for a pindapata. And Buddha finally said, okay, put your question across. He asked Buddha, you said there is a thing called suffering, dukkha. Am I causing my own suffering? He asked. Then Buddha said, Ma hevan kassapa, don't say that. Then he asked, okay, anybody else is causing suffering? Then again Buddha said, Ma hevan kassapa, don't say that. Then he asked, okay, so then are we doing that together? I am causing suffering and someone else causing suffering. So we're doing that together. Buddha again said, no, don't say that. Then he asked, okay, then is it just happening? It means just is happening without no cause. Then Buddha said, no, don't say that either. Then he asked, okay, is there a thing called suffering? Yes, there is a thing called suffering. Then he asked, okay, have you seen suffering? Buddha said, yes, I have seen suffering. And do you know suffering? Said, yes, I know suffering. I have seen suffering, but you're not causing your suffering. No one else is causing your suffering. You together get together and not causing your suffering. It is a Paticcasamuppada, depending on an origination. Because there is a cause, so there is an effect. So then Buddha described, like you did, 12-link Paticcasamuppada, the 12-link dependent origination, and said, like you correctly said, yes, craving is cause suffering, but it is just cause and effecting. No one is causing. You're not causing, someone else is not causing. It is not just happening. It is always because of a cause. Okay. So then you already said it is craving. So the noble truth of the cause of suffering, the knowledge that craving is the cause of suffering. So Buddha said, the craving is the cause of suffering. If I remind you, you did 12 links Paticcasamuppada session with another Bante. So what here, if we just say, think the way are the clinging. So you can say clinging is the upadana. Okay. And then before that, we got craving, that is tanha. But we think the clinging is the cause of bhava, and craving is the cause of clinging. But if we really go back to this one, and we can see, because of passa, because we have contact, and then we're going to have feeling. But if we did not have contact, because you know passa paccaya vedana, because of passa, we had feeling. That feeling could be pleasant feeling, that feeling could be unpleasant feeling, that pleasant could be either pleasant or unpleasant. So as a result, the craving is formed. And as a result, clinging is formed, then we're going to have bhava. So we're going to we talk about bhava last 2 times, but today also in details, we're going to take what bhava is. So therefore, though we say the clinging is the craving is the root cause of clinging, but before that we had vedana, we had passa or contact. But depending on whether you arahat, whether you Buddha, or you just puthajjana, worldly person, so this Vedana decide how this craving is behaving after that. Okay, right. So now let's talk about then the clinging. So craving included as a link in the 12-link dependent origination or Paticcasamuppada. So why? Craving results from ignorance. You can say the very, very root cause is the ignorance. You can say avidya paccaya sankara, sankara paccaya vijnana, vijnana paccaya nama rupa, paccaya salayatana, paccaya passa vedana tanha, upadana, then bhava, jati, jara, marana. Okay, so sorry, the other way around. So then craving results from ignorance. Now we understood now craving is the root cause of suffering. So then what causes craving? Ignorance. So what is ignorance then? Inability to see the reality of all the physical and mental phenomena, not understanding of Four Noble Truths. So impermanence, like lady mentioned, so we don't understand, we think only the physical stuff are impermanent. We don't think about our feelings, our sensations, our mental formations, our consciousness are impermanent too. And then They are anatta, not self, because they won't stay the way we want. Now, the one idea coming, so one thought coming, yeah, maybe raga, maybe dvesha, maybe moha, maybe metta, karuna, mudita, loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, or desire, or hatred, or delusion. So whatever comes, they all are anicca, impermanence. They rise and disappear. So like we said last time, ye dhamma hetu pabhava, te sang hetu tathagato aha, te sanchayo nirodho, evang vadi mahasamano. So for each effect there is a cause, yeah, Paticcasamuppada, and when the cause is not there, effect also disappears. So impermanent, because they are anicca, they don't stay permanently, they're not self, anatta, we can't change them. So can we change Vedana? Can we change Sanya? No, we can't, they're just going on their own. So whenever they won't stay the way we want them to be, then it causes suffering. That is the impermanent suffering and non-self character of the fundamental characteristics of the nature. So any questions or anything would you like to add so far to the group, please? Because from your existing knowledge. So now don't go so deep. What we want to know, we understand now there is a thing called dukkha. There are 3 types of dukkha, and all the dukkha's root cause is 5 aggregates. So we went through that. If you need, we can give more example later. Then we identify the samudaya, what is the root cause, is the craving. So why we crave? We don't understand, we don't realize, we don't see the 3 fundamental characteristics of nature of our 5 aggregates. So what are they? Form, sensation, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Or Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. As we don't realize, as we don't see, we may have Suttamaya Jnana. It means we heard that, we had the knowledge, we gained knowledge by listening to that. We may have Chintamaya Jnana. Maybe we can think about it. We understood. However, we could not develop still Bhavanamaya Jnana. So it means to reflect on that, these 3 characteristics. Whenever we do meditation, so we have to not just understand as a concept, not conceptual manner. So when we do meditation, we need to reflect on. See, now breathing is sometimes long, sometimes short, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes deep, sometimes shallow, and sometimes in breath and is changed into out breath. So this is the impermanent nature of our breath. And then impermanent nature of our sensation, sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant, sometimes neutral. So they keep on changing. So when the sensation or feeling does not stay the way we want, which is anatta, causes suffering. And same thing with all the other the 5 aggregates. Now, if you remember Aditya Pariyaya Sutta or fire sermon, in fire sermon, what Buddha said, bhikkhu, friends, the eye is suffering and ear is suffering. Sorry, ear is burning. Sorry, eye is burning. That's why it's called fire sermon. Eye is burning and ear is burning. Nose is burning, tongue is burning, skin is burning, mind is burning. So burning with what? Lust, hatred, and delusion. So same as Buddha said, sensation is burning and perception is burning Mental formation is burning. Consciousness is burning. Burning with what? With lust, hatred, and delusion. Okay, so therefore, if we don't understand the nature of 5 aggregates, why we saying 5 aggregates is causing suffering, we never can realize this, attain Nibbana. So we cannot get rid of raga, dvesa, and moha, because we always like to see conventional the world, like things is there, so they're dying. Things there, they've been destroyed. But we need to see exactly what's happening in our mind, because we can take this Paticcasamuppada, the 12 links dependent origination, about next bhava. It means the bhava, the life after death, after physical or biological death. But that itself won't help you to realize Nibbana, attain Nibbana. So we need to see the thought process, what's happening in day-to-day life, every moment, moment by moment, our thoughts are anicca, our thoughts are dukkha, our thoughts are anatta. Moment by moment, our perception also anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, anybody like to add anything, please, to contribute, or any questions at this stage? Because as I say, we don't have to go so deep and too much information if we can understand the real fact of suffering. Okay, right. Okay, then let's see the 3 types of craving. So there are 3 types of craving: Kama tanha, Bhava tanha, Vibhava tanha. Craving for sense pleasure, craving for becoming or existence. So we always think that is all about next life. Yes, it is about next life, but not only. And craving for non-becoming or non-existence. So we most think, most people, I'm not saying you, think that we're not going to have a next life. I don't want to be born again. But that is also one craving for non-becoming, but that's not the only one. So then craving for sense pleasures, we call kama tanha. So now, if you just see, I put especially for you, as we had some confusion last time. So Majjhima Nikaya and then the Pali Test Society, Sangyutta Nikaya, yeah. So Assada Sutta, there are a lot of suttas talking about one should understand 3 things in terms of craving for sense pleasure. So what are these 3 things? Attraction or enjoyment. Otherwise, we call, 1 second, please, someone is admitting, asvada or assada, an evil consequence or danger, adinava. So adinava means the opposite of reward or anisansa. And then freedom or liberation, nissarana. So whenever we have attachment, attraction, craving to any sense pleasure, so what we need to do, if you are a good meditator, so we need to see the consequence or the danger or adinava of that sense pleasure, that attachment, that craving, that clinging. So then only we try to escape from that or to liberate from that, which is called nissarana. Now example, let's say to put that into practice. Now you know the asada or gratification. So forms pleasing eyes, sounds pleasing ears, smells pleasing nose, taste pleasing tongue, tactile sensations pleasing body, and thoughts and ideas pleasing mind. Okay, now how can we use this formula? Attraction, evil consequence, freedom or liberation. So how can we put to that framework this when forms are pleasing eyes? So how can we find the Nissarana? Through meditation and through Buddhism, through Four Noble Truths. Anybody would like to contribute to us, please? Because this all coming from 12-link Paticcasamuppada, yeah, dependent origination and Four Noble Truths. So how can we practically use this one? Okay, let's say you've seen an very nice object, very beautiful, very pretty. Okay, whenever you're going on the road, whatever, beautiful female, male, or baby, or flower, or pets, yeah. So then you have attraction towards that. So we're getting asvada from that. Okay. Now, but that asvada won't stay that long. So when you come home, it's already gone. Or otherwise, that person already disappeared from there. So then once it's disappeared, so you had suffering and suffering of change, because that person was there, now disappeared, and you been very happy seeing that image, but it's no more. So it means suffering of change. So why this happen? Because we clinging to 5 aggregates. So whenever we seen something, so you know, chakkuncha paticca rupena chakku viññāna. So whenever our eyes see the object, we have awareness of that. Okay, it's not perception yet. We had awareness of that. Chakkuncha paticca rupecha chakku viññāna. So now chakku viññāna, eye conscious appears now. So then, because of that, tinna nang sangati passo, and then passa appears. Passa means sparsha, so it means the contact. So now there is a contact now. So the eye conscious and that object. Okay, so chakkuncha paticca rupeja chakku viññāna tinnang sangati passo. So what? Let's move on to a Paticcasamuppada diagram now. So tinnang sangati passo. So what's happening now? So then here we got passa. Okay. So we see in the object chakkuncha paticca rupecha chakku viññānam occurs. So then tinnan sangati passo occurs. So we are here now on contact, passa. So now this passa won't stay like that. So it will give you feeling, vedana, if you and we pruthaggjana, yeah. So this is common for Buddha and Rahat also. They also have feeling, vedana, otherwise they can't live. So then it gives us sukha vedana, or pleasant vedana, unpleasant vedana, or dukkha vedana, or upeksha vedana. So some people looking at that beautiful image, yeah, so they may have pleasant feeling, but some people, they may get angry because beautiful or because they think ugly. But some people, no different. See, now contact causes feeling. So what's going to happen now? So now we try to crave to that image. So which is tanha. So it means we seen that, then we're going to have craving, okay, tanha. But not only just tanha, we have upadana, like a lady mentioned, not just 5 aggregates, but we are clinging onto that. So whenever we're clinging, now it gives us bhava. So I'm going to explain you in a minute what exactly Buddha mean by bhava, okay? So then it causes jati, jara, marana. What does it mean? because you before you seeing that object, your mental state was different. Now, seeing this object, you may have greed, jealousy, anger. See, now you came to a different bhava. So, but this bhava is not going to be there that long. It's going to, is had a birth, but it's going to decay and die. So, this is the three fundamental characteristics of nature. So these feelings, whatever the pleasant feeling you had, gives impermanent suffering and non-self, which is we need to put this into this Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination, but not like some people like to learn this as a subject and just by heart we say, okay, avidya pacca, sankara pacca, vijnana pacca, nama rupa, blah, blah. But we need to try to put what we have seen, our daily practice onto this dependent origination. Now let's say someone, okay, let me give you an example. In the a husband is going shopping with wife, and suddenly wife said, I want to stop here, I'm doing window shopping. So then there was nice, okay, let's say maybe clothes or nice painting or whatever. So then wife now had pleasant feeling. Husband also had pleasant feeling. Husband also liked that painting. So then they both had pleasant feeling. But then wife is craving to that. Wife want to buy it anyhow. Yeah. So it could be the vice versa. Husband want to buy it. So now then husband is saying, no, we don't have enough money now. So let's go home. We buy another day. But husband also did like that. He also had pleasant feeling, but he was not craving to it. Upadana. So then wife is going home now with husband. Wife is thinking about that, and then she's having mental formation now. Okay, so it means mano sankara. Then after that she is saying, you would have bought that. Now vachi sankara, why you didn't do that? Now just arguments. Okay, so with this speech, that not only that, finally it may end up with physical intervention. Yeah. So if the argument goes that long, but all these sensations, raga or dvesa, anger, they have birth, they have decay, they have death. So that's what Buddha said. Each bhava has birth, decay, and death. So it means jati, jara, marana. Okay, then if these feelings have got birth, decay, and death, why should we clinging on to them? So why can't reflect on this impermanent nature and non-self nature and suffering nature? Okay, right. So we put that onto practice. So this is the meditation. Like I always say, meditation is not just you cross leg and close your eyes. So if we can see the things, yatha bhuta jnanam, it means as they supposed to be, not as we want to be. Okay, then we talk about craving for sense pleasure. So let's move on to bhava tanha, craving for becoming existent. So what is that? This is the craving to become something or someone. Craving to be rich, famous, powerful, popular, attractive. Not only that, I want to become sovan. I want to become sakrudagami, attachment. Yeah, I want to become arahat. So just clinging on to what? Clinging on to wealth and power, tanha, ideas, views, opinions, theories, conceptions, beliefs, they all comes under tanha. So in this case, So we try to become someone else. Now, my mental state is now just calm and quiet. So I want to watch television. I want to change my mental status. So always trying to become something or become someone or become powerful, become famous, become popular, become attractive among other people. So this is called bhava tanha. Then of course, the urge to continue to exist in future life, that also bhava tanha. Okay, so I think it's understood. And craving for non-becoming or non-existence, vibhava tanha. So that is opposite. Maybe craving for non-existence include the desire for non-existence after death. So I don't want to be born after this death. That is vibhava tanha. But the craving may also be to rid oneself of unbearable physical and mental distress experienced during life. Maybe you meditating, so you feel pain in your leg. So quickly you want to change it because you take that pain as a psychological pain. So, but it is just a physical pain, but you add onto that pain psychological element. Okay, so then the pain become double. For example, I know one of my friends. He was 55, so he received recently. From NHS because he's at risk group for bowel cancer. So he need to send his stool sample. So they send the pack also. But this man never had any problem. But from the date he received that pack, he's having bowel symptoms now because he thinks I may be having bowel cancer. So that's why they sent me to. Now, he didn't have any sort of pain, but now he started to have a pain in the abdomen, and he's having diarrhea. Sometimes he's constipated. Now he sent his stool sample. Now it is more and more because his sensation now, the feeling, like lady said, he goes conceit ego because asmimana, he thinks this everything is mine now. So I am the one who got bowel cancer. I am the one who sent my stool sample. I am the one received the letter from NHS. Now he's waiting. So more he wait, his bowel cancer is going more growing in his mind. So then suddenly, after unexpectedly, he is receiving a letter from NHS. You haven't got any cancer. From tomorrow, all these symptoms subsided. See, so that is the mental factor. So we try either to crave, to become, or to non-become, or non-existence. Right. Any questions on second noble truth, please? And how should we avoid tanha? So how can we avoid tanha then? Then we found the root cause is tanha. Though that is not the case, we started with passa pacchaya vedana, passa tanha, pacchaya upadana, pacchaya bhava. However, as Buddha said, the root cause is tanha. So how can we avoid tanha then, which is third noble truth? Anybody? It means we should have three things again, like we said, Satyajnana, the knowledge. Okay, someone's trying to say something, please. Okay, Satyajnana, the knowledge that the complete cessation of craving is the cessation of suffering. Krutajnana, the knowledge that cessation of craving must be realized. The knowledge that cessation of craving is realized once we done meditation or we really understood. So extinction of desire, hatred, and delusions, illusion, ragakyo, mohakyo, desdosakyo, nirodho, is the nirodha satya, then we can realize nibbana. So it means what we need to understand, all these feelings, sensations, forms, perception, mental formation, they are fading and ceasing of craving. We need to give them up. We need to relinquish. Then we can escape. We letting go and rejecting of that same craving. So like I said before, ye dhamma hetu pabha, we said, of things that proceed from a cause. They are cause the Tathagata has told. Sorry, of things that proceed from a cause, and also they are cessation. They are cause the Tathagata has told, thus teaches the great ascetic. This was said by Assaji Arahatero to Upatissa Paribrajaka, who became the one of the main disciples of Buddha, Sariputra Thero. So therefore, Nirodha means nothing else. So we need to understand this cycle of Paticcasamuppada. So whenever we had that, on our example, we gave two examples. One is window shopping. The other one, someone seen a beautiful or cute object on the street. So once we had contact, when we had pleasant feeling, we try to stop then and there, not start craving. So how can we do that? We be mindful, bring our attention to the present moment, and we start thinking. Even you don't have to close your eyes while you go along the road. Of course, we can't close our eyes. So we need to realize this feeling, this pleasant feeling came because of my passa. As we said, mano vinyana. So we see in the chakkuncha paticca rupena, you saw an object, and then you had passa, then passa causing vedana, then vedana causing craving. So if we can, through meditation, try to stop then and there before it's going to craving and clinging. So that is the Nirodha, nothing else. Yeah. Okay, now let's try, because we haven't got enough time. Now, just a small meditation session. Now, okay, can you see now there is the oil lamp here. So when there is wick, when there is oil, so we have flame. This is even what Buddha said to Agya Vakchi Gotta. Yeah. So when there is wick, when there is the oil, there will be flame. But when there is no wick, when there is no oil, there is no flame. So same as that, whenever we do meditation, so we can see, so whatever the thoughts, whatever the feelings, whatever the sensations come into our mind, they arise, uppada, vaya, they disappear. So then if we can understand the fact that they appear and disappear, so therefore we should not attach to them, we should not pull away from us, we should not pull towards us, we should not pull them away from us. So just see them as they are. So like when there is no wick and oil, there is no flame. So when you don't have that passa, that contact, that clinging, is those thoughts and feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, or whatever, not going to stay in your mind. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, with great respect to Bhante, Buddhism is not just a concept. It is just like Buddha said, ehipassiko, come and practice and see. Not just learning the words, not just learning vocabulary. So just to understand, and we use our Suttamaya Jnana, we heard that or we read that, then Chintamaya Jnana. So it means we can work it out in our mind and understand, but Bhavanamaya Jnana, meditative knowledge. So we need to put that into practice through meditation. Okay, so now if you kindly just sit upright, sit upright and comfortably sit upright. Put your arms, let your arms rest in your lap. As you hear this bell, close your eyes gently, please. So going to listen to 3 bells. As you listen to bells, bring your attention to the bell. Forget about the past, is gone, future hasn't come yet. Bring your attention to the present moment. Experience what's happening right now. What's happening right now is the bell is ringing. So bring your attention to the bell. Shall we try one more time? Experience what is happening now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Okay, shall we put our arm on our tummy, one of your palms against your tummy, and feel rising and falling effect as you breathe in, abdomen is rising. As you breathe out, abdomen is falling. So can you feel that? Bring your whole attention to your tummy and start observing. Observer, not a judge. Just observe your breath. As you breathe in, you aware it's an in-breath. As you breathe out, you aware it's an out-breath. And while you're doing this meditation, any feelings, any sensations, any thoughts, any emotions, let them go like clouds passing by the sky. Don't push them, don't pull them. They all impermanent, non-self. Whenever they want to stay the way you want, they may cause suffering. So please observe the rising and falling effect. Now, can you see this breathing is not yours either. It's just happening. Since we were born till we die, this breath is there. So it's just happening. And same time, If you had any thought came to your mind, just let it go. Don't pull, don't push, because they are impermanent. Now you know the mechanism, the formula of these thoughts. Don't let them make any Vedana or mental formation. You understand, because of contact, a pleasant or unpleasant feeling happening. So you understand the samudaya, and then you can make it nirodha. So arising and ceasing nature. So let them arise, let them cease on their own. So any thoughts coming, don't dwell onto them. Let them go. If we're not dwelling, we have no problem at all. So be non-judgmental towards your all feelings, thoughts, sensations. So now bring your attention to the bell again 3 times. So just see what's happening right now. Experience the bell, which is happening now, not in the past, not in the future. Okay, thank you. Right, any questions, any comments, anything you would like to add onto the group, please?
Can I just clarify what we started last time? So am I right in thinking, or if not, correct me, assada is really the knowledge of pleasure, and adinava is a knowledge of danger, and nissarana is liberation or deliverance of freedom. Is that correct?
Yeah, Miss. Now I put the references. Yeah, so it means aswad. Now just think about the normal Sinhala word aswad. Now this is assad is the Pali word. So whenever we have attraction towards something, so we have aswad. Mama hari aswadya klebu. I enjoyed that. So that is aswad. So we now whenever the lady and gentleman saw the painting when they were doing window shopping, so they both had aswad. But now why they put the word danger, because it is always negative one, because if you done a good thing, you're going to have ani sansa, it means the reward. But when we have done bad thing, something greed, hatred or delusion, that's why they put the word danger or the evil consequence or danger. So then if we think, okay, I am attaching to this one, I want this one. Now, for example, once Jesus said, always think about what you need, but not what you want, because we always try to get not what we need, what we want. So it means that is the aswad. So we want to enjoy with many, many things. So, but if we understand the consequence of this, the adinava, if I am going to attach to this too much, if I can't get it, I don't have enough money or whatever, or then it causes suffering, because whenever something is not happening the way we want, So then it of course causes suffering. So this lady is thinking about that painting. I mean, this was true story, to be honest, which happened to one of my relatives. They then had they fighting each other because he could not buy the thing. So it went with Kaya Sankara, Manoj Sankara, Vachi Sankara, all three those of things. But I am not saying that husband was so good Buddhist and he could understand the Nissarana. The whole point of that is he didn't have enough money to spend. But as a Buddhist, if we can see the real adinava, danger of attachment, then we try to escape from that. Or escaping is not the exactly right word, the liberation. Or that is called nissarana. So whenever we have attachment, example, just say another example, you went to work, your boss told you you are stupid. Okay, so then you got angry. Now it means the anger was unpleasant feeling, unpleasant vedana. But if you took it just as a word, if he talked to you in Chinese language, you are stupid, you wouldn't understand that. But as we are know English, so we understood that. But now we're going to have perception or sanya. Now, sanya, or many sanyas coming, many perceptions, then which causes mental formation. But if we could realize, if I just take this word as a word, just stupid. He said, Kamal, you are stupid. Okay, Kamal, you are stupid. Kamal, you are stupid. I just keep repeating that in mind. Then I won't let any perceptions to come over that. Okay, why did he say that? No, you also stupid. Why do you said that? Why did I do wrong? So many things coming. But when we realize the adinava of that thinking, not that I am going to lose the job if I tell him off, but adinava of my mind status, then that's the liberation, which is called nirodha, so freedom, nissaranaya. If you read the Assada Sutta or any of these, you will get more information. Okay, nice question.
Thank you.
I appreciated the meditation exercise. Would you enlighten us a bit more about the meditation? Okay, right, Susan. Yeah, okay. Now, meditation means, we want to get rid of craving. Okay, so craving could be to a pleasant thing, unpleasant thing. So we get angry or we get greed. So we want to get rid of craving. Yeah. Okay. Just say we again take the window shopping scenario. So that lady was having clinging now. Okay. So it means she is always remembering the past. So she is not living in the present moment, but she is living in the past. Okay, so it means she is thinking about what she has seen, the painting, and she could not buy it. Husband was very naughty. He never even made any attempt to buy. So why did it happen? Because of pleasant feeling. So whenever she had too much pleasant feeling, so she started to crave to it and then cling on to it. So what does meditation do? Now it happened because that pleasant feeling is not belongs to that painting. Because if that pleasant feeling belongs to the painting, everyone should have the same feeling. But husband didn't have such a feeling, and other people never they stop. Either they didn't have time. That's a different case. But even though some people see that, they don't have the same feeling. And only this lady X had this pleasant feeling. So it means it's not belongs to the painting. So let's see whether it is belong to her body. So it can't be, because that feelings are not hers. Because Buddha said, as I said before, form is not yours, feeling is not yours, sensation is not yours, because if they are ours, we could change. Now, for example, if that feeling, present feeling belongs to Miss X, she could quickly change it to unpleasant or to peksha or to a neutral feeling, but she couldn't, because it is not hers, it's just happening as a result of passa, contact. Because this is the dependent origination. There is a cause, there is an effect. But when there is no passa, when there is no contact, there is no feeling. So what we need to do then, when we do meditation, just say, you close your eyes and you pop in your mind. Okay, you're not thinking about your breath. You just pop in your mind and see what's happening. Okay, so I close my eyes now. So I can remember now, okay, so I saw a very nice painting today. Yeah. So then I'm going to now crave onto that. So I have craving. And then not only that, then I am going to clinging onto that. So you just thinking, then it's causing bhava, jat. It means now many thoughts coming. How could I buy that? Maybe I use credit card. Yeah. So many thoughts. Now you don't want to be on this bhava. You change it now, becoming. Okay. Different becomings. So, but if you just, when you do meditation, if you reflect on you and you think, okay, this thought just came to my mind, not under my control. So the same way as it came to me, let it go. But if you are not the experienced meditation practitioner, you need your mind to anchor on something, because now it's anchoring onto that painting. So therefore, we need to find something, some object to anchor your mind, not letting it to anchor to these paintings or to the paintings in the present feeling, and husband is unpleasant feeling because he didn't buy it. So therefore, you have now, you fluctuating between pleasant feeling, okay, very nice painting, unpleasant feeling, very naughty husband. Yeah. So the hatred and greed. So what to do now? So we need to bring it to the middle path, not extreme, not sense pleasure, not self-mortification, or not hatred. So we need to bring it to the middle path. So what is middle path then? So we need to bring your awareness to the present moment, and you find an object to anchor. So what is that object? Breath. Yeah. So Buddha said, so sato assasati, sato passasati. So you observe your breath, observe your in-breath, observe your out-breath. Because you don't have greed or aversion over breath. You never try to compare with someone else's breath. You never try to compete with your husband's or neighbor's breath. It is a very neutral object. So therefore, you bring your attention onto the present moment and you anchor your mind onto that breath. Then you have no past. You're not thinking about the painting. You're not thinking about the husband. They all happen past, not now. You're not thinking about how I am going to buy it tomorrow. So because you're in the present moment, anchoring your mind. Because what you're trying to do, get rid of this passa, contact, then which has not causing any pleasant or unpleasant feeling, then you have no craving, you have no clinging, you have no bhava. You being on night right now on this bhava. This bhava means not this life, I mean, but this particular mental state. Yeah, because you don't have any clinging or craving. So that is the way the lady who asked me, we have to use this on meditation. Because I always say meditation is something to bhavita bahuli kata. Every day we need to use that daily practice. Okay, there's another message. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions? If we understand this cycle of dependent origination, that is the Buddhism, nothing else. This is the way Buddha became enlightened under the Bodhi tree. This is what he seen. This is what he reflected on. But whenever he saw the four sides, the old man, a dead man, and sick man, he could not be enlightened because that was something to do with physical bodies. But he wanted to know the mind and see why this is happening. So it means the bhava, jati, jara, marana of our thoughts. Any other questions, please? And the other question again came, yes, could we do that in Sinhala language? Maybe we will discuss with Bante and we can have one-day session probably. Because one person sent me a message after the session the other day. I know English very well, but I am not familiar with this Buddhist terminology. So therefore, could you do that in the language I understand? Yeah, I appreciate that. Any other questions? Let's see whether we address the last week issues. Yeah, we talk about assada, adinava, nissarana. 5 aggregates cause suffering. We explained that. Yeah, single explanation we will think about. And can we have more practice of Four Noble Truth? That is what we practice today. If you can use that every day, even according to Harvard University research, if you do meditation 15 minutes a day over 28 days, you totally become a different person after 28 days. But if you practice correctly, yeah. Any questions? Anybody like to comment, or anybody not comment means not on the session, but on what we discuss. If you have your own saying, we're really happy to accept. Yeah, one more question. So we try to make, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, good one. Yes, yeah, because let's see why is that? It's a good one, yes. We try to break the Vedana. So that what Buddha said to Bahya Dari Churi. So whenever you seen something, just take it as seen. When you heard something, take it as heard. Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, where is my cycle? Yeah, okay, yes. The devotee is asking, it means, do we have to break the pachya? Absolutely, because sense spheres, so we have our sense organs, we can't get rid of them. We have nama rupa, we can't get rid of them. We have vijnana. So it means if we start from this place, we know everything happening due to ignorance, yeah. So to avidya, pachya, sankhara, yes, that's true. However, if we start at least from Passa Pachya Vedana. When we had the contact, I mean, as I said, Chakkuncha Paticca Rupen. So then I know there is a phone here. But I don't know more information about whether this is iPhone or whatever. So Chakkuncha Paticca Rupeja Chakku Vinyana. But after that, it gives Vedana now, contact, because it means when it's contacting with your feelings, then you may have a pleasant feeling, it means unpleasant feeling or neutral feeling. So what we need to try to do, because when it's go to the stage of craving, it's already going to upadana. It's already going to bhava. So if we can try to break the chain between the passa and vedana, because I mean, get rid of the avidya is straight away, it's not easy thing. Okay, so at least we can day-to-day practice, break the chain between the contact and the feeling, or whenever we had the present feeling, not to have too much perceptions. It means thinking about that, because perception has no karmic effect. Passa, contact also, there is no karmic effect. But when it's gone to the mental formation, tanha, yeah, so then it has karmic effect. Okay, so like a seed and fruit. So fruit is the karmic effect. Yeah. Yeah, so therefore you were right. So while we doing meditation, if we can see, okay, this sensation happened to me, this greed came to me because of my contact. Yeah. So therefore I need to try to get rid of this contact and not to think about anymore on this, not to dwell onto this pleasant feeling. If you're going to dwell onto pleasant feeling, it make you to buy the painting, it make you to shout at your partner, it make you to find a credit card or take a loan, and a lot of things going on. Yeah, yeah, you could post onto the chat window if you have any more questions, please. No questions? Okay, then I think then we should.
The last
Hello?
thing,
Sorry.
Dr. Kamal, can you tell us, what Buddha told Bahya, that the ditte dittamante
Yeah.
sute? Can you tell that verse?
Yeah, ditte dittamantam bhavishyati, sute sutamantam bhavishyati, yeah, vinyane vinyanam. Yeah. So it means, you know the Bahya's story. So Buddha really wanted him to do what? Again, whenever he's seen something, so it means he had already a passa. Okay, so it means he had already passa is there, because contact no one can stop. Whenever Buddha also walking along the road, so Buddha also has many contacts, sparsha, because he can see, he can hear, he can feel, he can taste, he can smell. So everyone get contact. But the problem is, are we going to get pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling? That also going to have. When Buddha touch a fire, maybe, yeah, so he has unpleasant feeling. But when he had a nice wind, maybe, pleasant feeling. But they all have contact, they all have feeling, but they're not going to crave into that. Example, once Buddha said, Mahanini, Kimbulvat Nuara Sulanga Sapayaki. So it means, dear friends, the winds which I felt in Kimbulvat city was good. So he had a pleasant feeling, but he was not craving onto that. So the problem is, if we can try to stop between feeling and contact, good. But at least if we can try not to crave, that is the thing we have to do. 1 second, please. Another question. How important to take the 5% formally in relation to your teaching today? All right. So how important to take the 5 precepts in relation to your teaching today? Okay. Now just say you killing. So when you killing, so what's going to happen? You have unpleasant feeling, yeah, and then you're going to have mental formations, because whenever you had the thought to kill, you have mental formation called mano sankara, yeah. So mental formation due to your thoughts, and then you talk to someone. I am going to kill. Let's bring this one. We have to kill this. It's a trouble. So then you have speech mental formation. Speech. I mean the sankara, yeah. And then you physically do it, then you have kaya sankara. It means you have formations we caused by body. So in 5, okay, that is about the killing, restraining from killing. So then if you go to stealing, the second precept, so it means if you're going to steal someone's something belongs to someone, so it means you have what? Again, either you do it because you have tanha, you want to possess it. Otherwise, you want to steal it because you don't like him. You just steal it and throw it away. So there you develop hatred. And then extramarital sexual, I mean sexual misconduct. Then you have so many tanha, and then you have to lie to your partner probably, and then you have to drink alcohol, and then you may have to spend money. So all sort of sankaras there again. And then lying, false speech, slandering speech, idle speech. See now, whenever you plan to say some false, some lie to someone, how many things happening in your mind? You have to plan. And then you just breaking relationship between two groups or two people. And then, of course, the drinking alcohol causes headlessness, and you become nearly like you don't know what you're doing. So, example, I normally call a Friday night syndrome. Friday night, we had the statistics how many teenage been raped, yeah, because they didn't know what happening with them. Because they were nearly unconscious. Yeah, so yeah, therefore precepts, because there are 3 things. I mean, we're going to talk about on next week, Sila, Samadhi, and Prajna on Noble Eightfold Path. So we can talk in details, but this is the simple explanation I could give to you how important to have 5 precept. Yeah. Okay, but only thing is 5 precepts. Some people think we every day, every morning I say 5 precepts. Every evening I say 5 precepts, but that is not the right seal Buddha mean. So Buddha mean, if I am not killing an animal, I need to understand why I don't do it. Yeah. So because I am not supposed to do it, because other people may see, and or otherwise it may be a legal issue, not because of that. Understanding the root cause, if you don't kill, that is the right taking precepts. Okay, one more question please. This is personal practice of the business, which do I keep, but is it necessary to take? No, I don't want to answer that question in public, but because otherwise some people may take it wrong. No, you're right. Okay, so no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So, example, I will tell my just say parents. I will tell to my wife or whoever, to children or whoever, I'm not going to smoke, I'm not going to smoke. Then everyone thinks I am not smoking. Okay, good, Kamal, he's not smoking, very nice. But when I go somewhere, so I smoke, yeah, but they don't know. But you think you are cheating your family, you are cheating your wife or children, But if you ask from yourself who are cheating you, you are cheating yourself because you have such a negative feeling. But you think they all happy. Kamal is a non-smoker. All the world think Kamal never smoke, Kamal never drink. But my self-consciousness says, Kamal, you are wrong. Yeah. Therefore, your question, I have to say no. Yeah.
All right, Dr. Kamal. So we have
Okay.
reached the end of our session. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain the third noble truth and taking the time to answer everyone's question. So next week we'll be having the fourth session, which will conclude this series on the Four Noble Truths. And we have a series of so many other talks that we have organized for Vesak Week and even after Vesak Week. So if you are interested in the programs that we are offering from the Dhamma Center here in Colchester, please visit dhammasenter.uk and subscribe to the newsletter, and you will be notified of all the sessions we have. Thank you very much, Dr. Kamal. Thank you for taking the time in preparing and to sort of answering all these questions very well. We really appreciate your service. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone else for joining, coming here for the session, and for also taking
Bante, and two other questions we'll be answering next week. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.